So this is our fifth mini presentation. And this is Andrew Wheelock, or Spiff Whitfield, in Second Life, and he's going to share with us the Islands of Enlightenment projects that explore areas of art and architecture as well as literature. Anytime you're ready, Spiff.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Going to, it's been a while since I've used a speakeasy, so let's see if I can get this going. And if not, I'll just start typing into chat, which is maybe what I'll do. So here we go. Hi everyone, my name is Spiff Whitfield, and in Second Life, Andrew Wheelock, or in real world, I'm also Professor Illuminati in the Open Sim Worlds, which is a really fun tag to have for kids. They find that very intriguing. I want to talk to you today about the Islands of Enlightenment projects. So to learn about our projects and the many people that were involved in it, please go to our project website at the islandsoe.weebly.com. There you'll find lots of information about the projects and what we have done and what we are hoping to do in the future. Also, if you have the bit.ly link that you can see there, I created some tutorials, a kind of a getting started page for students and teachers learning about OpenSim. So I hope interesting. Slide. This is going to be a long one here, so it's this one. So let me tell you about the genesis of the project. So as a 13-year elementary teacher, I loved history. However, when it came to teaching history to students, I was often greeted by the phrase, "History is boring," which always hurt my feelings. And when I took a harder look at the resources that I was using, like textbooks, stale movies, worksheets, I learned quickly that they were right. So when I became a technology integrator, where I am now, which is at Erie Wambusee's Winnie-Rick, I had the opportunity to create a project that I could share with districts in the area of Western New York. So I pursued and received a grant through the New York State Department of Education. And we were able to get a server and download an sim environment. Our first project was known as the Understanding the Holocaust project. This project was meant to enhance the learning surrounding the Holocaust and specifically the diary of Hero and Frank. So the challenge in this case was to make sure the students, the student was learning, and sorry about that, a little grammar mistakes there, was more than just fun. I mean, we wanted the students to have fun, but we also wanted it to be a powerful learning experience. So the students had 10 Common Core learning. Not sure where the rest of my thing goes, sorry. So the students had 10 Common Core lessons that they went to, but then there were 3 other options there. So they, at the end of the unit, they did a reflection candle where they wrote an essay about their learning, and they also were a museum curator and they created actual lesson. So they actually created an exhibit, I should say, rather than a lesson, which to me was the powerful part of the project. And it showed us that the students really did get a huge, they were learning, and they caught the power of that, the era and the Holocaust in general. We did something more powerful learning experience. So we found that through those ways that kids could express their learning. So let me go to the next slide. So that was really kind of the first part of that. So the second year of the project was year 2 of the grant, and this was known as world adventure called The Heir of the King. And with the help of the teachers in the earlier projects, we started to develop it, and especially Mary Howard was part of this project, and she did a lot of the kind of brainstorming and gamification process. We really brought this project to life. So we used gamification principles, and the students leveled up to move from the village to the castle, learning about medieval history along the way. At the end, they were treated to an Arthurian-style mystery that they needed to solve. And it's great fun and great learning. So it was a really great challenge. And it was nice to see the teachers start getting involved in the process of creating a game. So the third year, again, I hope you can see the evolution that's happening here. So the third year, let me do that one. I think I redid a slide, so let me do that. Okay. Okay. Sorry, everyone. Let me see if I can't get this pasted in here. I'm not sure why that's not going. There we go. So the third year of the project was all about building. And the students, we wanted the students to focus on the building. You know, we certainly saw, as you, for those of you who've had students in Minecraft, you can see the building is passionate and crazy, and we're building sports complexes and all of really some cool things. But we did want to focus the students building. So we incorporated the fantastic people at Darwin Martin House for help. If you're not familiar with the Darwin Martin House here in Buffalo, it's a structure. So they helped the students, the Darwin Martin House helped them learn about the principle of architecture from Frank Lloyd Wright, and this added purpose and art to their builds. Students really latched onto the principles of Frank Lloyd Wright and also had some amazing builds. And again, students were a big part of this, and they created videos. Find if you go project website, so some student created sites, but here is where we're taking off building, but also they were used that Frank Lloyd was to do as well. So it was the actions that were happening. So next slide. So the goal of this project, you know, I guess can maybe call it the mad scheme of this project, was for that the students and teachers to take on the role of creators. And you've seen that the students were taking on roles as creators in this. And Mary Howard was a big person that was taking a role beyond just, you know, taking what we had there. You know, the first part was really the Anne Frank project was really created almost all of it. So the teachers really already had a base, but Mary Howard created what was called the Westing Mansion, and she created a scavenger hunt that was a game based around the Westing game, which is a middle reader book. And so here's a picture of the Westing Mansion that she developed, and students just loved it. So she did a lot of creative elements to that. And I was able to come in and watch the kids take off with it. So it's really great. The next slide. So some of the other pieces, you know, and again, you can kind of see where this is going just from an evolutionary standpoint. You know, one of the things that I saw that was kind of missing is the arts, because we saw with the building, we could see the architecture. So now it's time to build in some of the arts. So some of the other projects that was developed, the digital art project, and if you want to read about it, we did get an article published in the New York State Department of Ed website. And I had a teacher named Sheila Cannon, who was an art teacher at Fredonia Schools, and she was scared to death of this project, but with some hand-holding and some guidance, she got her kids involved in great arts, but also bring in arts that they create inside. So that's where I want to take this towards the future and start doing and bringing for Blender. So it's time to others there. So let's come into it. So I want to be respectful of that. So let me just, these last two slides in here real. So another great project was, and this was a wonderful day. I brought some social studies teachers together, Mark Reno, Tempio, and Dave Bodum, Civil War experts, and two of them were builders, and we had them Civil War battlefield. So we spent a day just hammering it out, and it was to see teachers just dig into content, but also the build. So that's kind of leading us to this year's project, which is a science island. So I'm having a teacher, and we're kind of hats, science teachers on board. And so some fun things. I'm really liking bringing science and arts into the, and then really last but not least, I'll add here is that I think all of us would agree, great educational venture begins without some great people. So, and all of the people should be indicated on the project website. So great people that have helped through support and their efforts.
I see that there's just one quick question. Is this the same group that created the Holocaust Museum in Second Life?
It isn't, but we were inspired by that, as a matter of fact. We connected with them early on, and they were definitely Ubi Dubi was the creator of the Holocaust Museum in the Second Life Sim. Yep. So yeah, they were definitely an early inspiration and a big help.